Hello, I'm Michael Finn, holistic exercise and lifestyle coach, and the exercise for today is a lateral lunge because we need to move laterally as well as front to back and in a rotation and everything else. If we get too much with just straight ahead exercises, we can cause injuries and stress fractures and all sorts of other stuff because the body's moving too much in the same way. We need to change it up. So we're going to do lateral lunges today, and I'm going to first show you about a good way to figure out how far apart you should move your feet when you're doing a lateral lunge. So my legs are pretty long, so I'm going to put my feet a good 4 feet apart from each other, side to side. All right? I've got a little bend in each knee. I'm up nice and tall with good posture. My belly button's in. And we're going to start with my right side. So what I kind of want to think about is I want to think that there's like a little stool that's, say, right about my knee height or a little bit higher than that behind my right leg, right behind my right foot. And what I want to do is I'm going to keep my left leg relatively straight. There's going to be a little bend in that leg. But I'm going to bend my right leg and I'm going to pretend like I'm going to sit down on that stool, keeping my upper body up and putting my butt back down on that stool. Okay, so by just simply bending my right leg, keeping my upper body up, I even have my hands in front of my chest a little bit to kind of think about keeping my chest up. That's primarily because normally I'm holding a dumbbell here too, which I'll show you in a minute. So, but that is your stationary lateral lunge, just like that. And then the same thing you do the other side. You can bend the left leg and you can sit on that little stool behind your left foot that's right about knee level or a little bit higher, okay, so that you just shift those hips over and over that way. Okay, so that's the stationary form of our stationary lateral lunge, or some people will actually call this a lateral squat. So now that you have that idea of how far apart your feet should be, so you want to make sure that that feels really comfortable. If your feet are too close together, your hip ends up getting outside your foot and your knee, and it doesn't work. So it ends up being, way out here like that, and you can't get down quite as low. If you get too far apart, you end up being, well, it's not quite so bad, but it's really hard to get too far apart. But the big key is finding the spot where you can get down nice and deep and still stay up nice and tall. And this works all of our adductors and our abductors and our glutes and the quads and the hamstrings and our calves. It works everything in the lower body. And it's going to work your core as well. So for me, it's about roughly 3.5 to 4 feet apart for my legs, but I'm 6'1". Okay, so find the distance of how far you want to be first. Then when we make this more dynamic, where we're going to step out into our lateral lunge and then push back up and come back out, going to make it more power, more dynamic. So now I've got my feet together. I'm going to step out with my right foot. I'm going to land. I'm going to drop down my hips to where I'm going to sit like I'm going to sit on that little stool, and then I'm going to push back out and come all the way back up. So, and with my feet all the way together. I'm going to step out, drop down, push all the way back up, keeping my upper body up tall, sinking my hips down, keeping my whole foot on the ground. My knee, your knee should pretty much track right in line with your foot. It shouldn't go in, it shouldn't go out. It should be pretty close to tracking with your toes. So I have my foot turned out just a couple of degrees because that's what allows me to get deeper. Everybody's going to be a little different. Once again, people with a real narrow pelvis, they might have their foot a little straighter and their knee track a little bit straighter. People with a wide pelvis might turn out a little bit extra and a little bit more. It just depends on your body structure. This is why this is personal training and personal coaching. If you have issues with it, reach out to me. You can send me a video and I'll look at it and go, hey, you need to open this up a little bit. You need to open that up a little bit. You need to close that other part down a little bit. It's all because of your own personal body genetic type. Okay? Now we can make this a little more challenging by adding weight. The way I like to add weight is goblet position with a dumbbell like this. So I'm holding the dumbbell on its side with my hands, and the one side's right underneath my chin, the other side's resting on my chest. I'm going to step out to the side, I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to push out with that right foot. I'm going to step out with my right foot, I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to push up and come back up to the top. So Remember to do the other side as well. So I'll step out with my left foot and do the left side. Same thing there. Okay, and you can have the weight in the goblet position. You could also hold it down lower if you wanted to. You could have dumbbells out in front of you at the side. You could hold it up over your head, which is really hard. You could hold them at your shoulders. You can move the weight around and challenge the exercise in different ways. But to make it harder, you can very simply just add a little bit of extra weight to it, and that will make it more difficult. So, if you have questions, make sure to reach out. Put a comment down below. You can shoot me an email. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell as well. Hit the like button so that everybody else can find all these great videos too. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next exercise video. And I hope you all have a happy and healthy day doing your lateral lunge and or your lateral squats. Bye for now.